And hello again, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the Scumbags Predictions League. Tonight is Survivor Series, so we want to thank you for watching on YouTube or Facebook and listening to us on Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere else you get your podcast from. We have 10 different outlets available. We are part of the Ontario Indie Podcasting Network and the Johners Podcasting Network, so we're here in Canada, North America, UK, we're all over the place, so you can always get us. Be sure to contact us on Facebook. That's the easiest way to get to us. On Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can email us at scumbagswrestling@gmail.com. And also, as always, especially for this part of our venture, go to scumbagswrestling.ca, and that's where you're going to find the predictions page. You can go and click on this banner, which I'm going to put up right now, and it's the rules for the Scumbags Predictions League. We got the 2 tiers of play, $25 for the pro, free version for everybody, just fun predictions for WWE, NXT, AEW, and Impact Wrestling. So we got an NXT show coming up in 2 weeks, Impact Wrestling coming up in a couple weeks also. There's always ways of getting points. And speaking of points, you get 10 points for picking something properly, 5 points for no contest. So if somebody you picked is not involved with a pinfall or picking up the victory or a loss, you're going to get a point or 5 points for that. And that's usually when we have triple threats, fatal four-ways, and stuff like that, one fall to the finish type deals on that, where there's not necessarily a winner or a loser. And of course, 0 points if you get nothing right. There's also opportunities to get bonus points, and that's going to happen tonight as a part of Survivor Series. So it's the traditional Raw versus SmackDown, the only time of the year that these guys go against each other. Yeah, they go against each other at the Royal Rumble too, and various other times. But we want to not pick it apart too much. That's the WWE moniker on that one. And after Clearinghouse, there's just almost everybody that is still employed on this card tonight. So we want to look at some of the matches. There are 7 in total. Yes, 7 in total. So there should be a odd number for victory for either brand. And the one match that got announced just on Friday is 25-man Battle Royal, which is going to be, they're claiming to honor The Rock with the fact that it's been 25 years since Dwayne Johnson made his debut in WWE at the 1996 Survivor Series. And you can always check that out on the WWE Network. There's also, I believe it's this past week's episode of Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Him and Conrad go through the 25 years ago, the Royal Rumble, or the Survivor Series of that one, break down all the matches and talk a lot about the Bret Hart, Steve Austin match, even the Sid against Shawn Michaels, and the somewhat forgotten match of Mankind and Undertaker after all the things that they did before that match, and then of course the big match that they had 2 years later at the King of the Ring. So a lot of things to look and digest in that one, so I definitely do recommend you checking out Something to Wrestle with. But for tonight, there's a 25-man Battle Royal, and it's Raw and SmackDown combined to go against each other. This one can go up in the air for any way, but there's a lot of tag teams in here. So I don't think any of the tag team guys are going to end up winning. My choices would probably be down to Sami Zayn, Cesaro, or Ricochet over on the SmackDown side, and maybe from Raw, you might have an Apollo Crews, a T-bar, and for a tag team person, AJ Styles. So those are the top 6 that I could see coming out of this one. But I'm looking at Sami Zayn. They need to keep him a little bit happy and maybe around. And I can see that being the winner from SmackDown. If the SmackDown guy is going to win, I'm picking Sami Zayn. If a Raw guy is going to win, I would go with T-Bar, because they look like they were going to be pushing him a bit after those matches that he had with Damien Priest. So anything's possible. My official pick is Sami Zayn. And of course, he wants to get his documentary out there as he's trying to quash all these conspiracy theories, and why is his documentary not coming out. So he's the one that's gotten a little bit of a highlight on this prior to the matchups happening tonight. Nobody else has really gotten to spotlight themselves or hype it up unless it's over on Twitter or on Instagram and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on. But I see that being the kickoff show, and we'll see where the brands go from there. Speaking of brand versus brand, the women's Survivor Series is going to happen. There was some mixing around of people on it. Aaliyah got taken off the SmackDown side and replaced by Toni Storm just the other day. And this one has the Raw side being represented by Queen Zelina, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. On the other side, as I said, Toni Storm is there, Natalya, Shotzi, Shayna Baszler, and the captain of that side is Sasha Banks. As much as I see Raw having a stacked group there, I'm going to go with SmackDown getting the victory on that one. I can see somebody like Queen Zelina being one of the first ones eliminated, or Carmella, and that's going to be a pick for you guys to put out there for 5 extra points. Let me know who is going to get eliminated first. You don't have to tell me from which team, just pick a name. I could even be from the team that you think is even going to win. So you could think Raw's going to win and Zelina's going to get eliminated first. That's okay. Send me those picks. I also want to know who's going to win, or at least be surviving at the end. There could be a opportunity for 3 people to survive. I need you to pick one. In this case, I'm going to go with Shotzi being one of the survivors, and it's going to be Team SmackDown, as I said, picking up the victory in that. And I'm going with also Zelina Vega being the first elimination in the women's match. Looking over at the men's Survivor Series traditional match, we saw both Mysterios replaced by Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. So they're going to be definitely doing stuff with that. Hopefully following up after the Survivor Series with whatever the Authority has issues with the Mysterio family. But the Raw side has Seth Rollins as the leader with Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Austin Theory, and Bobby Lashley. The SmackDown side, led by Drew McIntyre, having Jeff Hardy, King Woods, who had his crown destroyed just the other day by Roman Reigns and the Usos. The replacement for Sami Zayn being Sheamus, and Happy Corbin, and he has Madcap Moss at his side. I'm going to say Madcap Moss, or Happy Corbin, my apologies, should be the first one eliminated from this. I'm going to pick Team Raw to win. They have a bigger stacked team. They seem to want to push Austin Theory, and they also want to keep, I think, Kevin Owens going forward. So this one could be a very lopsided matchup, and Raw getting a lot of survivors on here. So I'm going with Happy Corbin being the first elimination, Team Raw winning, and Kevin Owens being the survivor amongst a bunch of others, I think, on Team Raw, surviving this matchup. Going at the champions versus champions side of things, the tag team champions are against each other, and it's representing Raw, RK Bro, taking on the team of the Usos. This could go either way. Randy Orton is now setting a record as of tonight of having the most pay-per-view matches, just surpassing Kane, and it's going to be a big thing. Randy Orton is also a major name in the Survivor Series history. He's survived a lot of matches. He's taken out a lot of people. This time he's not even in a Survivor Series matchup, but I think because of what's going on, the Usos are going to be the winners here. Riddle has been loose cannon in a way and getting beat up, and Randy's had to save him a bunch of times. It's going to happen again tonight, and the Usos are going to pick up the victory in this one. That doesn't mean the Usos aren't going to receive a couple of RKOs for their victory, but Usos taking this one. Then the mid-card titles are going against each other, with the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the United States Champion Damien Priest. Damien Priest is getting a huge push. He had a lot of great matches with T-Bar, as I mentioned a moment ago. They went 3 really good matches against each other on Raw recently. And Shinsuke, as much as I really like Shinsuke Nakamura, him teaming up right now with Rick Boogs and doing more tag team stuff than even defending the Intercontinental title, I see Damien Priest picking up the victory and getting another point for Raw. Going over to the women's side of things. Now, this has been compared to Brett versus Shawn, and they even showed things with the Screwjob in '97. I'm hoping we do not see a replay of the Screwjob. I think they're playing it up a little bit more than is needed, so it's taking away from it being legit. I think there is some heat potentially. There was for the title exchange and stuff like that. But the way they've also been presenting both of them, yeah, this is more hype than legit heat, I think, like I said, and they're going to play off it. And they need to trust each other, just like Shawn and Brett did. Even though they hated each other, they trusted each other enough between the bells to do what was needed to put on their matches and do their job. That's going to happen today, regardless of any animosity between the two in real life. With that said, I do think that Becky Lynch is going to pick up the victory over Charlotte Flair. There could be some outside shenanigans going on, because we also have Liv Morgan wanting to be the number 1 contender for Becky Lynch, and Toni Storm is wanting to be the number 1 contender for Charlotte Flair. So it won't surprise me if something wonky happens to help things along and get the ball rolling on those two feuds. But I do see Becky Lynch picking up the victory. And then the main event, which I need you to send me how long you think this match is going to be for the potential tiebreakers, if there is a tiebreaker situation for the points total. And we have Big E, the WWE World Champion, taking on the WWE Universal Champion representing SmackDown, Big E representing Raw, with his advocate, or counsel, should I say. Advocate is for Brock Lesnar, the tribal council, the wise man, Paul Heyman, at the side of Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns, I just said Brock Lesnar, my apologies. It's one of those days. But it's Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in his corner representing SmackDown, taking on Big E, the WWE Champion, representing Raw. This is going to be the big main event of the evening. A lot of personal things going on, especially with the fact that the Bloodline is taking out Kofi Kingston with his knee injury. They just took out King Woods destroying his props, his crown, his throne, the scepter, the robe, and everything that represents what the king looks like. And, Woods into that whole cosplay type of action. There is going to be some interaction going on, I think, with Woods being a part of it. Maybe trying to divert the Usos from causing any issues. Big E does need this victory in a way, but I don't see it happening. And the Tribal Chief will stand tall. Getting that lopsided, the extra point to give SmackDown the brand supremacy bragging rights point, which I'm also asking for bonus points. Who's going to be the better brand, Raw or SmackDown? Send that to me. But I do see Roman Reigns getting the victory over Big E. So let's look at some of my picks, and I'd love you to send your picks to me, whether it's through the Facebook page. You can direct message me. You can also send me an email at scumbagsofwrestling@gmail.com, or go to scumbagswrestling.ca to fill out the form there. So many ways of getting in touch with us and being a part of this. Now, like I said, I am going to go with Sami Zayn picking up a big victory in the 25-man Battle Royal, honoring The Rock, and just having a feel-good moment for Sami. He's needed it, and he's the only one really hyped in this one. The main card, I see Team SmackDown taking the victory over Team Raw in the women's traditional 5-on-5 elimination matchup. Queen Zelina, I see getting the first elimination, and Shotzi being one of the lost survivors. Over on the men's side of things, Team Raw, I think you're going to get a huge victory over Team SmackDown. With Corbin being eliminated first, and I'm picking Kevin Owens to be one of the sole survivors. Then over on the Champions versus Champions, the Usos going over RK Bro, Damien Priest over Shinsuke Nakamura, Becky Lynch over Charlotte Flair, and Roman Reigns going over Big E. So that happens all tonight at Survivor Series 2021, whether you're watching on the WWE Network, the Peacock Network, or here in Canada, part of Sportsnet. You can always get the event. It's happening tonight on the network, so check it out. Send me your picks, and we'll see what goes on from there. I hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time.